Yeah, every time I see that guy, you right, Rob, how's it doing? I'm saying,
yeah, I know where you're coming
I'll tell
from.
him to his face, a guy of limited talent who rides off the back of Geordie, right? Just concentrate on doing that and get off of us, man. Leave us alone. No. Hi, and welcome along to the All Guns Blazing podcast with my man DT. Happy New Year, bruv.
And you, man.
Happy New Year.
And you.
Yeah? Are you going to behave yourself in 2019?
I can't promise that. I haven't been arrested yet, though.
What is this? Every time I keep saying, every time a video comes out, I was watching Blood Brothers the other day, right? And all the comments, DT's been arrested. DT. I saw so many of them. I was thinking, boy, should I give him a ring? Find out if he's.
Do you know what? The funny thing was, there was a game, Southampton away.
Yeah.
I'd just done the interview with you, was walking away, and while I was doing the interview, I was getting missed calls off my son. I'm thinking, what the hell's he want? What's going on? So I rung him back, and he's like, Dad, you've been arrested? No. And he's like, oh, I've just had a call from one of my mates, and it's all over social media that you've battered some Southampton fans and that you've been arrested.
What's up with these people, man?
I'm like, no, what are you going on about? Never been arrested at football.
Jesus,
do you know what I mean?
Man.
It's just
people just like to. They like to. The Blood Brothers thing. Actually, I was watching. It's been brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to go on about you in Blood Brothers, man. But if anybody ain't watched it yet, watch Blood Brothers. Right? Honestly, you know what? A lot of videos that we do, I might watch once. I've watched Blood Brothers I've been watching it. It's almost like Netflix, man. I've watched certain episodes, like that one with you where you kick off. I've watched that about 5 times. It is good.
It is funny though, man. And it is what it is. And you know, I've been sacked, and I lasted less than Wenger. So
Wenger never tried to attack the ref.
No, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, emotions run high. I've said what I have to say about the situation, and
it is good though. And do you know what the thing is, right? Like I see like some people try to make out like it's contrived, which it 100% isn't. And the other thing is as well, right? Like even when you're watching it back, because when you're doing it, you forget that they're filming you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You forget that. Sometimes I've watched things on TV when they've done fly on the wall stuff, and you think to yourself, oh, how did they But you know what? When a camera's following you around constantly, especially when you're doing something like football, after a while you completely forget it's there.
You forget it's there.
You completely forget it's there. You know what I mean? Well, you did.
I certainly did. That was it. But, do you know what? Do you know what the funny thing is, though, right? Because when it first came out, I see a lot of comments, and they were saying that it's scripted and this and that. I can promise you now, right, to everyone out there, that it's not scripted. It's real.
It's real, man.
And
it's
by episode 4, where we are now, everyone's now going, do you know what? I don't think this is scripted. It is. We're not trying to be actors. We're not trying to be, the next Hollywood blockbuster or anything like that. And it's supposed to be a fly on the wall, a behind the scenes look, without any editing in terms of cutting out stuff. And it's just raw emotion. Sunday League football, that kind of stuff. The people that moan about the way I reacted, I reacted over the top and I could have handled myself better, and I've said that, and I don't need to go on about it. But that kind of stuff happens every single week, and some of the people that are moaning about it have probably done it themselves.
Every week.
Listen, do you know what? Listen, seriously, I said it about certain things, right? I could go over to the marshes, or I could stay into Luton and go over Lucy and all the local parks and everything else, and I'd see that kind of stuff. I've seen 10 times worse. It doesn't make it acceptable.
Nah.
But it happens, and, it is what it is. And, we're
a lot of people were surprised watching it.
Yeah.
That you and Troops... but at the time, you two weren't getting on.
Yeah, do you know what?
It's when you're looking at something, because I know that at the time you two weren't getting on.
Yeah.
Right? But for some people, it came as a surprise.
Yeah, well, the thing is that, me and Troops have always had that kind of clash within us, because we've got similar personalities and very strong-minded, and Troops got a little upset because I bantered him over the picture with Alexis in the summer when he waited outside the barber shop. And we kind of had a disagreement over that. And what people don't realise was that obviously we went into the pre-season tour at Singapore with me and him kind of not talking to each other. And if you remember, we turned up at the airport and Troops and Brennan were already there. And then me and you turned up.
Yeah.
And me and Troops are just standing there at the baggage check-in and just like, all right. But then by the time we landed in Singapore, we'd spent 13 hours on a plane together next to each other.
Chatting and
we were back to our old self. And this is what people got to realise.
That's how it should be.
You know what? We're very much like brothers in many respects, that we fall out, we argue, you know, and it's just, it is what it is. I don't want people to just take it too seriously.
Do you see that? Do you see the other day, right? I saw True Geordie and Lawrence.
Yeah.
So like they were like
doing a review
of the. Now you know what, right? True Geordie. Listen, I know both of them. Yeah. True Geordie. I respect that guy. He's done some great things, right? What he's done, what he's achieved. I remember him from you first coming up. He's done really well.
Yeah.
I have to say that other guy, that Lawrence. I don't know what it is with this guy. Yeah.
I don't
normally. You know what? I don't normally say nothing about the guy. He's always talking about me. Always talking about me. Always talking about AFTV. For some, I don't know what I've known a guy I know him from back in the day. I know that a couple of times he wanted to do some stuff for us. I don't know if it's because maybe we didn't use him or whatever. But what is this guy's problem, man? The guy is always constant. And then what they did, which I didn't like, is that part of the Blood Brothers where it's talking, you know the start of it where Terry's talking. What do you say? Clouds align and this and that. They done that real sort of parody bit at the start. Yeah. They tried to make out like we were being serious with that.
I know.
Obviously, if you watch it, it was being done as a joke. And he tried to. And that guy, I don't know what it is about that guy, but he's just a little rat. If I'm being honest,
is this the new Robbie in 2019? Robbie's like, you know what? I'm not having it, man. You see these man, they're gonna get beat up.
Man, he's lucky it's not the Robbie of back in the day. You know what I mean?
Because man ain't having it.
I don't know what it is with this guy. He's always chatting about people.
You know what?
I remember he said, "Oh, Arsenal fan TV and that will never be any successful. No sponsors will ever touch it." He got that completely wrong.
Yeah.
Then he said, nobody would want to do anything with those guys. How could that ever get to TV? I've got a TV program, my own production company. Everything. So you know what? Keep hating. I want this guy to keep hating because every time he hates about something, then it gets bigger. It
gets more. And
honestly, man, it's what I used to call back in the day, what we used to call a bad-minded guy,
Bad mind.
And what he should do is just get on and do what he's doing. He's in a lucky situation because for a guy of very limited talent, I'd say, right? He's a very... No, I'm being honest.
He's going in this morning.
I'm going in, man. He's a talented guy. You know what? As a video editor and that, he's a talented guy. He's talented at editing videos and things like that, right? As a presenter, a guy of limited talent riding off the back of Geordie. I'm sorry. Riding off the back of... Yeah, I'll say it as it is, man. You know me.
Man's going in.
Yeah, you know me. I'll tell a man...
You know what? Next podcast is going to be me having to go, Robbie, you've been behaving this week.
Man. You know me. You know what I'm like. I'll tell a man to their face.
Listen.
Every time I see that guy, you right, Rob, how's it doing? I'm saying...
Yeah, I know where you're coming from.
I'll tell him to his face. A guy of limited talent who rides off the back of Geordie, right? Yeah. Just concentrate on doing that and get off of us, man. Leave us alone.
No, I know what you're saying.
A guy that's always got so much to say.
I watched it. I see it.
A guy that's he's making his career off of just sitting down. He does nothing. There's no talent to him. I'm not talking about Geordie. I'm talking about Lawrence. He makes his thing off of just sitting down and going, "Oh, you seen that?" and criticising. I ain't got no talent. What's he done? What's he created? What talent's he got? No, I'm being honest, man.
I know where you're coming from.
And then the guy's got so much to say about football. When's the last football game he went to? That's what I'd like to know.
He's a Liverpool fan.
He's a Liverpool fan. I bet he weren't at that Man City. I don't even have to bet. He wouldn't have been at Man City, Liverpool. He don't go to... How many times has he been to Anfield this season?
Yeah. No.
And he's got so much to say.
You know what?
Listen,
I watched it. I watched it too.
Respect. Every man who wants to do something on YouTube, do your thing, respect. But you know what? People like that, honestly, man, I ain't said nothing about this guy's now. This is about 2 years. Every time I think these guys going on about me. I remember he done some video with you, Wizzy. Yeah, Robbie this, Robbie that. Then he saw me. Yeah, Robbie, how's it going, bro? Yeah, man, like I said,
It is what it is.
These mans, as I said, bad-minded guy, man.
There you go.
He probably won't even understand that, so go look it up. Go.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
When you see someone, ask them what does bad-mind mean,
because
and they'll tell you.
When I watched it, I watched the end part of it, and like Geordie was saying about one thing I want to get clear in this, right? Because some people have been a little bit confused by a tweet that I said, because obviously there's this thing between me and Goldbridge, and I've not made no, you know, I've not hidden this, right?
Goldbridge is all right.
No, man. I don't like him. He's a fake. He's the biggest fake going.
Goldbridge is all right, man.
There's a reason why Goldbridge has blocked me on social media, right? Because he knows I'll expose him, right? At the end of the day, he's a fraud, and I'm not even getting into it now. There's a time and a place, and I will get into it about him. Now, what we said was, right, I turned around and I said, right, when people have differences, yeah, there's two ways of doing it, yeah. If you're not in the public eye, so to speak, yeah, you go and sort your differences out on the street, yeah. But we are in the public eye and everyone's watching. We would never be able to have a conversation together in a crowd of people without someone pulling their phone out, just seeing what's going on. So the way that people in that kind of circle have to deal with things, and seems to be the culture over the last year or so, is to get in a boxing ring. That seems to be the thing. Now, at the end of the day, I've recently had surgery not many months ago. I need a few more months before I could even look at doing that anyway. Goldbridge is not the type to get in a ring anyway. So I'm never going to offer something like that. So I sat there after it all, you know, dust had settled with the whole thing with me and him. And I said, let's do something that I feel that people would watch, and something that, you know, so we're not having to smack each other in the face, so to speak. And I said, let's go and play a football match, me versus you. And I said, now, the whole United stand, AFTV thing, whether it happen again, won't happen, or whatever.
That's got to happen.
I know, but what I'm saying is that it won't settle our differences. So my idea was for me and him 1v1 in a cage, and this is where people are getting mixed when I mention the word cage. They think I want to go in a cage, like cage fighting, yeah?
That's what I thought.
No, you remember the game FIFA Street?
Oh,
from back in the day. So
yeah,
it's like literally in like a cage, caged environment. Me versus him, nobody else in there. There's no.
You know what? When I
referees.
saw it, I thought it was.
No. Listen, you get 240 characters. No, you get 240 characters. Yeah, I thought people would have been sensible enough to understand when I mentioned FIFA Street.
You say I'm not sensible.
I mean, right? No,
because I thought when I saw it there,
bad mind. Yeah.
No, when I saw it, that's what I thought.
No. I mean,
that'd be interesting.
What I mean, because I put this idea to the management team that do everything to go to Mark months ago about this and say,
cage,
let's
one
do
on
it.
one.
Now,
one on
one, no referees. You can have an audience all outside the cage cheering on or whatever. Do a live stream. Do it for charity. Let's go and make something of it.
All right, I'll have a chat with him.
Well, this idea was put to him a couple of months ago, and he said that he's got a few health issues at the moment. But it's something that he will look at exploring and whatnot.
But you know what? I like Goldbridge, man. Yeah, I mean, he's a talented guy. Yeah, he's a talented. Unlike what I'm saying about this other dude, right? This guy, what he's built on that, give him all due respect, man. Yeah, I mean, he's done it himself.
No, I'll send big shout out to Flex because he's the one who built that.
Flex as well.
He's the foot soldier.
Flex is brilliant as well.
He's
but
the foot soldier,
also Goldbridge as well. You know what I mean?
Oh, wait.
Saying. You know what? The thing is about it, right? Is that you can dislike. I'm not asking that the other dude there to like me. Yeah, I don't ask nobody to like me. You know where I stay, right? But have a bit of respect for people, man. You know what I mean? And you know, when
do you know what my big issue is? I'll tell you what my big issue. No.
Goldbridge,
Listen,
to be fair
my issue is that I've spoken to Goldbridge privately, inbox, because I'm like, I don't need to take this online because there's loads of little virgins that follow him, yeah, that have no conversation whatsoever other than the letter W. right? And then they want to come on and abuse my missus and my family, my children. And I'm not playing none of that no more. So I said to Goldbridge privately, I said, listen, stop, all right? I said, I understand for a few days, even a week or so, you'll have a bit of fun off what happened and everything. Cool. Go ahead and do your thing, yeah? I said, but then when it becomes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you're literally living off it for months and months and months. And I'm asking them and saying, listen, you see the abuse, yeah, that comes my way from your followers when you randomly say something about me for no reason whatsoever. I said, just stop it. Let's stop it. Let's go and do something for charity. Let's go and do something where we find the winner once and for all out of me or you. Because you never put me in your pocket. There's none of that whatsoever. Me and him clashed once in the game, right? He won the ball back. I brought him down tactically so he didn't go through. He kicked me. I then got pulled back, right? And there's another thing as well, right? Let me get into another thing as well. Rants as well, yeah? Let me tell you something about this guy, yeah? The guy's making videos about me, telling me that he's bigger, better, all this and that, because Jeremy Corbyn follows him on Twitter. You fool. Absolute fool. Go watch the video. He's another one, yeah? That I inbox.
Theresa May.
Mate, listen, damn people follow me. Don't worry about that. Listen, I'm not going down that political route, yeah? Right? Now, the thing with rants, yeah? And this whole headlock thing, right? Let me get this straight.
Rants is all right.
Let me get this straight, yeah? I messaged him straight after and I said, stop telling people that 4-man had to pull me away from you and you off me and this, that, the other. I said, what happened was, and I'll show you the inbox message. This was 2 months ago. Flex pulled me off Goldbridge, right? And I went backwards. Rants come behind me and put his arm around my neck. I could walk behind. No, listen to me. Listen to me clearly. Robbie, listen to me. Right. Any man comes behind you, yeah, when you're not expecting it and puts you in that headlock, for a few seconds, you're going to have to get them out of it. Now, if it's on the street, the first thing you do, you're bang straight in the ribs and you're fighting and you'll get yourself out. Where it's on a football pitch in that environment and your last thing is thinking, I'm going to have a fight, you've got to get yourself out of that maneuver. Within a few seconds, I was out of it. And I simply said, come and do that to me face to face. Come and get me in a headlock face to face because I guarantee you won't. End of story. And then he goes and makes, and then but then he goes and makes a video with his brother Expression. And do you know what? Actually, I've got a lot of time for Expressions. This might sound weird, yeah, because me and him clashed a hell of a lot. But we've kind of spoke to each other at certain events recently and stuff like that. And I watched this video, and he was actually quite respectful. He was sticking up for his brother and certain things. I got no problem with that. You know what I mean? You know my thoughts with my brother and everything else. But he's cool. I actually think Expressions is actually cool. He's a bit too much to handle at times, don't get me wrong, and I just can't bear him, especially when Spurs win. But do you know what? Deep down, he's a cool guy. But all I say about the whole rants thing was come and face me. Come and do it. And then he was like, I want to have a boxing match with him. I'll move yourself,
I'd say
man.
Rants is a right guy, though. You know what? Everything's boxing match nowadays.
I know.
Boxing match, but get that Lawrence a boxing match.
Oh, mate.
No.
Can we put that one up? Let's get it started. Lawrence versus Robbie.
Actually, I used to do a bit of boxing.
I know.
Day, so
I see it. Do you know what?
I wouldn't even mind that, but actually,
do you know what?
For me, it's not about boxing matches. It's not about anything
Can
like
I just
that.
say, I see a video of you the other day.
People just got to have a bit of respect, man, that's all.
I see a video of you the other day.
Video of me
because you know Samir Nasri signed for West Ham. Do you ever remember the most hated players video you did? And it came to you when you went, the mere mention of this guy's name gets me mad. Samir Nasri. And then you went, boop, 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 and started doing some boxing. That got used. And I was wetting myself.
People are always using that.
That's good.
But it's not about boxing matches and stuff like that. It's just about people having a bit more respect for people, man. But anyway, listen, you know what? Up to him, bruv. If he wants to keep talking about me, it's all good.
And up to Goldbridge and that as well. If you want to keep talking about me and rants, if you think that,
I don't normally keep silent on this guy, but I thought, I'm just going to say something, man.
Jeremy Corbyn.
I don't like when people slag you off and then when they see you, you're right, bruv. Just keep walking.
I'm going to try and get Jeremy Corbyn to follow me.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about, listen, we ain't even talking about no football yet.
Look at that list.
Yeah, I've got my list, man. Right now, I don't know if you saw. But rather than even talk about games and that, Arsenal, the funny thing is, I was thinking about Arsenal playing Blackpool in the FA Cup, yeah? Blackpool, their owners at the moment, Jesus, the Oystons,
bad.
They hate him, and the fans have not been turning up at the Arsenal Blackpool game. 80% of the fans there are going to be Arsenal fans because Blackpool fans have not been turning up to the game because in a protest at their owner. But I was looking at our owner. Now I've been kind of been very critical of certain things since the start of the season, and I remember even sometimes at the start of the season, some people were saying, "Robbie, why are you being negative? There's a new guy coming in." I was going, "No, listen, I love the fact that Unai Emery's coming in, but what I was unhappy of at the time is that are we giving a brand new manager enough funds to compete?"
Yeah.
When I watched that game the other night, Man City versus Liverpool, I was like, you know what? We are miles off.
Yeah, miles. That was
The level of that game.
That was serious.
I'm like, honestly, two brilliant teams playing. We're miles off.
I was tired watching that game.
Yeah. They're both playing, because at that game, they're both playing at their peak. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, both of those teams would have took us apart playing like that.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, we need investment into Arsenal. And that's the only thing I'm moaning about. I like Unai Emery. I love Unai Emery. I love the new setup. I think that's the only good thing Gazidis done, is that he's left a good recruitment team. But right now, we're so dependent on them getting everything right. You know, because when I looked at this report by this guy, Swiss Ramble, that he put out, and I have to say, this is a brilliant report. He's a football finance expert. And the reason why I've got my notes here is because I've kind of written down some of the key points out of it, right? Now, he was talking about investments in Premier League clubs, right? We're not talking about here money that's been earned. So we're not talking about money that's been earned on the through the turnstiles, through sponsorship deals, through player sales, nothing like that. Just pure investment. That means what the owner or owners of the club have taken out of their own pocket and put into the club themselves to make that club be better. No surprise, number one is Manchester City. Those owners, which, listen, nobody can compete with them, and we're not asking our owners to compete with them because basically it's a country, the country of Qatar, backing Man City. But they put 1.27 billion pounds into Manchester City, and hence why all of a sudden now City have come from nowhere and they're winning things. But obviously they've come in, they've recognised that we need to spend a lot of money to get City up there, right? Chelsea, Roman Abramovich has put 520 million pounds of his own money into Chelsea Football Club, and it's taken Chelsea. We know Chelsea from back in the day.
Yeah,
they were just an average team. He's taken Chelsea now to be like one of the biggest clubs in the world. Whether we want to deny it or not, it's true. They are, right? They're a main player. They've won multiple titles in recent years, and that's down to Abramovich. Manchester United's owners, who they've taken a lot of money out. They're American owners, the Glazers. They've taken lots and lots of money out, but they've also, according to this guy, invested about 318 million of their own money into Manchester United. And we know Man United have got a roster of top players, right? Pogba, people like that. Liverpool have invested 257 million pounds of their own money. They're American owners as well, right? Fifth on the list, Leicester. You know, rest in peace to their owner, but he invested 208 million pounds of his own money into Leicester Football Club. And what did they do?
Win the league.
Our owner in the last 10 years, right? Stan Kroenke, his worth alone is £7 billion. They said he is worth.
Yeah.
Not simply bringing his wife into the equation. It owns Walmart and all that, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's her family that own a Walmart. He has invested a grand total of nothing, nil, out of his own money into Arsenal Football Club. He's not invested 1 pence of his own money.
So,
according to him, it's this, and the club
self-sustainable model,
self-sustainable money. So anything we spend is what we get in, what we generate. He's not put. Now the other thing is what I wanted to tell you, right? And a lot of people, the guy doesn't get into this in this report, but I've got this information off a very, very good source. Yeah.
Here we go again.
Right.
Robbie Sauce.
Here comes the HP.
No,
right?
man.
The
Robbie,
HP.
you could be like the new Levi Roots, man, with your new sauce.
Right. This sauce is hot.
Hot.
Now, obviously, this is how do you say it so you don't get sued?
Unconfirmed. Unconfirmed.
Unconfirmed. Or as Ty would say...
Rumours.
As Ty would say, other rumours are available or something like that.
Yeah. Or he would say, invincible! Invincible!
Hey, by the way, we are still the only invincible.
That's all we've got left to hold on to.
That's all we got left to hold on to. Stan Kroenke owns all of Arsenal now.
Yes.
So as we know, he had this battle over the years with Usmanov, who I would have liked to see Usmanov come in because Usmanov would have spent
money.
He would have been one of these guys who would have invested some of his own money into the club. But anyway, Stan Kroenke won the battle. Usmanov looks like he's going to be probably heading to, it looks like he's already kind of in Everton, right? So he now owns 100% of the club in buying those 33% shares. So that was Usmanov's shares plus there were some other Arsenal people who had shares in the club. He purchased all of those, right? Now, he's paying a big interest because he borrowed the money to do that. He did not use his own money to do that. A bit like the Glazers, what they've done at Man United. He's borrowed the money, right? And he's paying an interest on that money, apparently, of around about £18 million a year, right? He's taking out of Arsenal Football Club, out of the profits that are made, right? The talk is he's taking out about $4.5 million to pay that interest out of the profits that we make, yeah? He's servicing that debt. So the debt, the money that he borrowed to buy the rest of those shares, he's apparently servicing that debt, right, with money that's been made from Arsenal. So again, he's not spending any of his own money. And hence now we're seeing Aaron Ramsey's leaving because we got to cut the budget. We got to cut the. And then on top of that, there's been mismanagement of, and I thought Graham put it brilliantly when I interviewed him last week after the game, the mismanagement of the previous regime where we sold so many players for nothing. So we haven't been able to do like what Liverpool done, where they sold a Coutinho, got 140 million, and have been able to use that and buy Van Dijk and Alisson.
I think that's what I was saying to you as well in my interview.
Yeah, then we ain't been able to do that because we got nothing to sell because the
past regime have messed us up.
Zero,
the past regime,
Alexis,
the past regime, they completely messed us up.
But Stan Kroenke,
this report pretty much confirms what we already knew. It also confirms that me and you have spent more money on Arsenal than Stan Kroenke. Yet we don't own it. Although most people seeing the pictures of you pitch side the other day think that you probably bought the club. Some of the comments were brilliant because you were pitch side with your flag, and everyone's like, "Don Robbie's just bought Arsenal. He can go pitch side and do what he wants."
I was actually going to my seat, and they asked me if I wanted to come and hold one of the flags.
Red action. Yeah. But no. So getting back to it, but. My thoughts on Stan Kroenke. I sat there in many podcasts over the last few months before the season started, and I said, look, let's give it a chance to play out now. Let's see what he's really going to do and whether he's going to back the manager. I said we need at least 3 windows. We're in the second one now, and I'm already starting to get itchy feet, and I'm already starting to think, nah, this just is not going to change. You hope it will change. There's that sense of you that thinks, come on, it must... because money has been given for the likes of Aubameyang and Lacazette.
Not his money.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So there's a part of you that holds on and thinks, and then I have people saying to me, yeah, but he was going to spend 90 odd million on Lamar and that. And I said, yeah, but that was because he was about to get 40, 50 million for Alexis because they'd just done a deal with Man City. And then we'd just sold Oxlade-Chamberlain for 25 million or something. So I said most of that 90 million pound was on sales. So he wasn't spending 90 million pound, and we've had this argument as well. You look at our net spend, and I think I've said to you, I think it was the Liverpool game last year, that one when I had that big rant, and I said about the likes of Huddersfield and all that have spent more money than us. And I said, how's that even right? If you want us to be the big club that you promised us we were going to be, remember when we moved to the Emirates and everything, what we were told. Remember that. We was sold a dream. We were better off staying at Highbury. I'd rather have 38,000 fans in there every week and the atmosphere and the feeling that we used to get than having a 60,000 concrete bowl that's half full most weeks. And I said it to you. I said it to you in the interview afterwards that there's still loads of empty seats.
No, I know about half full. Come on.
No, but a lot of games. There's been quite a few games.
What games?
The Europa League games.
Europa League games, yeah.
The Carabao Cup. The best.
Yeah,
The
not
best,
league games,
but
though,
no,
not league games.
Even the league games, there's empty seats.
Yeah, not.
Yeah, but it's still empty seats, Robbie. At the end of the
Yeah,
day,
a few
yeah.
club class people who ain't turned up.
Robbie, pull it this way. Let's say, for argument's sake, yeah, Stan Kroenke went out in the summer and in January and whatever, and said, "I'm giving you a coup de barley. I'm giving you a," and we got the players to compete at the high level. Yeah, so the owner was showing ambition. Would there be empty seats? No, there would be no empty seats.
I think the thing is, right, is that right now, as we just said, if we're going to compete with Man City, because to win the league, you've got to get past Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham now, who've got a very good team, Manchester United, who we all knew it was more down to the manager than the personnel. They've got good players.
I still think that Mourinho would have won their last 4 games anyway.
He might have done, but they've got good players, yeah? Right, we got to compete with those teams, and you've got teams like emerging like Everton and teams like that are spending money. Now, you are not going to compete with them with this self-sustaining model. No. Because basically, we've had that for the last 10 years and we've got nowhere near, apart from, I think, on one occasion, winning the title.
And the team that won it ahead of us was?
Yeah. So basically, what you're doing is you're relying on luck.
Yeah.
Luck to win a title.
There's not one team above us now.
So that is that is not ambition. Now, for me, if you're a billionaire owner and you are truly ambitious, there has to come a time when you say, right, I want this club to be self-sustaining, but you know what? At the moment, it needs help. We're not in the Champions League, so we're not generating all that money, because that's another big problem, not being in the Champions League. And that's why Wenger used to his credit, always used to be really pushing to try and get us in there, because he knew. This is where Wenger knew that the lack of investment. So he's like, I need to get in the Champions League because I need that money to be able to get better players. Not being in the Champions League has the knock-on effect that you lose all that money, and also you lose your attractiveness as a football club, right? Now, he's got to look on it, and he's got to say to himself, you know what? The club needs some help at the moment. I've had a lot of money out of this club. I own all of it now. I've won the battle. The club needs some help. I'm going to take £100 million of my own money, give it to the new manager and say, yeah, go and sort that defence out. Because I can see there's problems there.
But he won't.
Sell a few, here's some money on top, try and get a Koulibaly, no guarantee you can get him, or try and get whatever's the best players in those positions that you need to strengthen that. I'm going to give that now over the next... And I'm not saying they do that in January, because I'll be fair to Stan Kroenke, January is not a time when you can get the type of targets that you want. Yeah, so maybe him saying that, try and get what you can. And even then, actually, if we're trying to get into the top 4, you should still be trying to get some... So actually, maybe no. But give the right amount of funding now. You're going to have to go into your pocket. You've done well out of Arsenal. The club is worth like 4 times what you paid for it, right? Give the manager the investment. Do you want this club to be a great club? Or do you want this club to just become an average club? Because at the moment, from what I'm seeing from Stan Kroenke, he seems content. Makes all the right noises. Yeah, we want to win things. We're all about winning. I haven't come in this to just... But he's not backing that up with his actions, because I don't see... Yes, we signed... we've made a couple of good signings in like your Lacazettes and your Aubameyangs, but we haven't backed it up. So you'll see other clubs, they'll make like that, but then they'll buy another 3-4 other top players. What we'll do, we'll go and buy Aubameyang, and then he'll be like, right, that's it.
Yeah, done. Sorry.
It's like someone's going, yo, don't check me for nothing else, You can imagine if Stan Kroenke was a roadman, he'd be like, yo, bruv, don't check me for nothing else. Yeah, I gave you that. I gave you Aubameyang money. Yeah? That's it. I don't want nobody ringing me. I don't want to. I'll give you a Bamiyang.
That'd be you if you was owner, innit? That'd be you bad man.
Nobody don't ring me no more. Yeah, I'll give you a Bamiyang. Yeah.
You got me and Troops
right?
on the phone. Like, I want to centre back, blood.
But the thing is about it, right, is that it's not just one signing. We need help at the moment.
No, massively.
We need, like, especially in defence, we need to go out there and buy 2 to 3 top quality players, and that's going to need money.
Do you know what I think right now? Yeah, top 4 is there to get.
If we had a couple of players.
You look at Chelsea dropping points again the other night against Southampton. Makes our point. The fact that we lost to Southampton, it's not that bad, is it? But
they dropped that at home, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just that 4th spot is up for grabs. It is. Because apart from, Tottenham are being consistent, apart from the Wolves game, and, you have to say, let's not worry about them at the moment. Liverpool, Man City, forget it.
No, there's 3 teams.
So you have to worry about 4.
Yeah,
so you have to worry about that 4th spot.
Yeah.
And it's Chelsea, Arsenal, and Man United. But I do still feel that Man United are going to fall apart once the tough games start coming up and stuff.
I don't know. They're looking good.
I think the worst thing that could happen for Man United is for them to do as well as they are, and they have to give the job to Solskjaer. Because it could be the same kind of thing as Di Matteo and Chelsea, where they had to give him the job because he ended up winning the Champions League when he took over, and then by the next season it fell apart.
They'd still be in the top 4.
Yeah, but I don't think they will be.
And for us now,
we have to
get in the top 4. We're seeing in the Europa League, like you said, people ain't turning up for that. They don't like it, right? No. All these fans used to say to me back in the day, "I'd rather be in the Europa than
it was nice
rather
for a
than being in the Champions League."
It was nice for a season.
Now we're seeing it's rubbish.
It's been nice to go to Azerbaijan and see it for the first time. It's been
the Europa League is only good if you win it.
Yeah, but it's so the ideal situation would be that we just worry about our job first, which is getting the top 4, and then if we can win the Europa on top of it, it's a double bonus.
So now, if you are an ambitious owner of a club,
you go out and give Emery some money to.
You look at it and you say, right, we're 4 points.
3 points.
3 points off Chelsea.
Yeah,
3 or 4.
3.
3 points off Chelsea. Let me look at the games from now to then. Yeah, we can push for this, man. The problem is though, our squad depth in defence, in particular,
is weak.
Let's go and try and get Harry Maguire. Let's try and get Koulibaly, or obviously if he's at a Champions League club, but there's a lot.
No, they're in the Europa.
Yeah, all right. There's a few targets out there you could identify. So let's try and go and get them. We break the bank, like what Liverpool done with Van Dijk.
Even Manolas.
But this guy's not going to do that. We know that. He's already said. There's nothing. There's no money there.
Yeah.
And you know what? You made a good point as well the other day in your interview when you said, how many times has he been to watch Arsenal this season?
I don't think he has. He didn't even have the respect to come over after Hillwood passed his way.
Yeah, that's true.
You're talking about one of the, the guy whose whole family is embedded in the history of Arsenal Football Club. It wasn't just Hillwood.
And now the thing is, right, so, he owns now 100% of the club, which means, right, he's no longer accountable to us. Because before, when it was the shares and that, they had to have, even though it was a lot of times, it was a really token sort of,
them stupid AGM.
But you say stupid AGM, but at least
I know. But at least you
could go there.
Yeah, when I say stupid, it was because of the way you was treated.
Yeah,
you
but
had Chips Keswick there, giving it all this. Literally, the chairman going like this to you.
But at least he was held to account. Now he ain't
But was he ever really held to account? Because if you remember, he never answered any questions.
He wasn't, but we could ask questions. But now he doesn't even have to go like that.
No.
Because he doesn't even have to call a meeting because they don't have to tell us anything.
No.
If Stan Kroenke takes £10 million out of Arsenal, he don't have to tell us.
No.
Just does it.
I just got a feeling that Stan's laying there on a lilo somewhere with a cigar in his mouth. Like this, just
and he's
laughing at us.
He's got his club over there in the American football club's doing pretty well actually. I think they're in the playoffs.
Well done. Come and do something for us then.
He's concentrating more on that. No, listen, you know what? It's a really. This is a bad situation.
It is a bad situation. I see something from Troops the other day with his interview, and he said about the banners are coming. And I've still got my Kroenke banner, don't worry about that. Freshly pressed and ironed. But I don't think banners are going to work. They're not.
Well, he ain't here, is he?
No. So what are you going to do? Maybe NBC might get a few images back to him, and he'll be like that. Nah, fuck troops and DT, man. Waste mans. Do you know what I mean? And just be like, go away, peasants. Do you know what I mean?
So
and
how do we get this guy, do you think?
Empty the stadium. I feel that that's what...
Like what Blackpool done.
I don't think it's ever going to go to that extent.
But Blackpool have done that, right?
Yeah, I know.
And respect to them. They've been very radical with what they've done, but it ain't worked, has it?
Right. Thing is, we're a much bigger club than Blackpool. With all due respect to Blackpool. The commercial deals that we have and an empty stadium would have an effect on with those are bigger than anything that Blackpool could ever have. I don't think we would ever have it to the extent of Blackpool because there's too many tourists.
But you know what?
That come to watch Arsenal.
No, yeah, I was just about to say.
But the thing is, empty stadiums got rid of Wenger.
League games, yeah. If first of all, season tickets. So if you turn around and you say, right, you know, I ain't turning up this week.
I see what you're saying. Because
You've
they're already paid. I know.
They already got the money, right?
That's true, but it worked with Wenger. Because ultimately, empty stadiums is what got Arsene Wenger the sack. Don't give me all this that he was left of his own. He was sacked.
But it's different when it comes to the owner.
No, but at the end of the day, if he's
different,
if the stadium's empty on a continual basis,
but we already paid for the ticket.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, if what I'm saying is, if the stadium's empty, yeah, and then it starts having an effect on the commercial side of things because, you know, commercial partners are saying, hold on a minute, we put this much money into the club to be commercial partners and the stadium's empty, it's not good for our brand. And this is what I'm trying to say. It needs a knock-on effect to what's making Stan money. And
well,
then
it's just about a nail. It's just about a nail again. And this is why I think we will spend a little bit, still not the sort of amount of money we want to spend. We'll spend a little bit more in, and that's why I think they hold out to the summer because we're going to have that big Adidas deal coming in.
Yeah.
Right, where there'll be a bit more funds available for it's self-sustaining.
What's hot off the press at the moment? Because I've already seen. Hi and welcome to Transfer Daily.
Nothing's hot off the press at the moment because at the moment,
sources.
At the moment, you know what I mean. Arsenal are not looking at any big deals. They're looking at guys like Pepe at Lille, but they don't want to pay the 50 million euros that it would take to get him away. And right now, if Lille continue to have a great season, when it gets to the summer, they're going to want more money from him.
Well, you only have to look at what Chelsea have just done. They've literally just bought Pulisic,
and
then they've turned
for
around and said,
£50 million.
Go back to the club for the rest of the season.
Yeah. We could never do that.
No.
We'd be saying bring about 3 other players over with you as well.
But that's what I'm trying to say. There's the difference, and that's what you've got to fight against. And we've got no owners with no ambition.
Yeah, and that's what makes me sick because and I think at this stage, it's not about taking out banners and nothing like that. Not yet, but we've got to hold him to account because I think we've got to see what happens, right? But I'm just raising this, and I'm glad this Swiss Ramble guy brought this up. I think that people need to be aware of what's going on and then start holding him to account because he's only just taken over 100. So it's in his speaking in his favour here, right? Is that he's only just taken over 100%. I'm gonna say, all right, 10 years we've seen the evidence that you don't spend money, but what are you going to do come the summer?
Yeah.
We need to hold this guy to account now because, as I said, we can't go to AGMs and that, but we need to monitor and watch everything very carefully, what he does for our football club.
This summer's key.
Competing now at the highest level. I mean, if you sat down with him and you said to him, Stan, what's your ambition? Right. So if you was asking me, if I'm Stan Kroenke now and you said to me, what's my ambition? And I said to you, well, to win the league. The next question you're going to ask him, well, how do you achieve that? I wonder what he'd answer. What would be his answer?
Create a miracle. Hope for a Leicester. That's
because
all you
there's
could
no
have.
other thing he can say right now, isn't it?
Because we're not competing.
He can't turn around and say the team at the moment is good enough to compete because we know it's not.
I said to you in an interview...
It's a miracle if we get in the top 4.
Do you remember when we played Man City away last season, I think it was? And I said to you in my interview then that it's going to take years to repair the damage that's been caused.
But he's still there.
Yeah, I know.
And do you know what as well?
But I mean the whole regime as well.
A lot of people used to say with Wenger, they used to say, you know what? When he goes, we're going to start seeing that it weren't only everyone. He was like the human shield for them. He used to take a lot of flack on behalf of them.
Ivan
Gazidis we're going to see
is accountable, and I'm glad he's gone as well. And now you know why I say I don't trust bald people. No offense, but he's one of the main reasons as well. You look at the whole transfer stuff; it's just a shambles. Like you said, people are getting confused, right? When they mention Liverpool, yes, Liverpool is a good comparison to us because their defence was shit a couple of years ago as well. But that's where the comparison should stop, because the owners have not turned around and said, here's 250, 300 million, sort your defence out. They've turned around and said, right, Coutinho don't want to be at the club no more. Right, let's go and get the best possible price we can, 140.
They're proper contracts.
Boom. Yeah, they have proper contracts in place so they could command the most money. They got the money and they said to Jurgen Klopp, right, we just got 140 for Coutinho. There's that 140. Go sort that defence out. And if you don't come back to us. This is on you now. Go and do it.
The other thing,
and he did.
The other big thing that we've been doing at Arsenal, big error we've been making, is we've been paying very average players high wages.
Yeah.
So basically, you'll have a guy like I don't know, a Carl Jenkinson. He's on 45 grand a week. Why would you want to leave? He's more than that.
Keep going.
50.
Keep going.
55.
62.
I heard he's on 45.
62.
Well, even whatever, right? If I was
Carl Jenkinson earns more than Torreira.
Now, if I'm in Carl Jenkinson's shoes, why would I leave until the end of my contract?
Of course you ain't going to leave.
You ain't leaving.
I said it. I've done a preview for the Blackpool game, and I put Carl Jenkinson in the side because these are the kind of games that he does. And I said, you watch. He'll play this game, get injured. We can't sell him in January, and he'll be here for another 10 years.
No, but we can't. It's very difficult to sell him anyway.
He's the last one left out of that British core.
Yeah, because he's on big money.
How is
Mohamed El Neni's on about 45 grand a week
that's
as
not
well.
bad. That's not bad.
Is it?
In a sense of what players' wages are.
Who's going to pay him that now?
No, I know. But what I'm saying is that he could do a job for a team lower down in the Premier League.
But who's going to pay him 45 grand a week?
That's not too bad given the wages.
I saw a lot of Tottenham players ain't on
Yeah,
it.
but this is the thing. I saw a comparison the other day that made me just go, wow. Christian Eriksen's on 70 grand a week. 70. How many players at Arsenal have we got on more money than Christian Eriksen? Even the likes of Danny Welbeck and all that.
Mesut Ozil on £350,000 a week.
He's staying.
Now, he's staying. We'll come on to that in a second, right? But that becomes now...
Have we got time? Maybe that's another show.
That's a panic. That was a panic giving him that when you think about it, because basically...
It probably was. Because
of the whole mess up with Alexis, they were like, oh, we can't afford to lose him.
Jack was going into his last year.
Yeah.
So they had to do something. Like, we need to do something to appease the fans.
Yeah. And now... He doesn't fit into Unai Emery's plans.
Yeah.
Basically, whether we,
the whole regime from the past.
But you can't sell him, can you? You can't sell him because who's going to pay 350 grand a week for a 30-year-old player?
No, and someone from China comes in,
who's not really been performing. And even if someone does from, because someone the other day said to me, "Sell him to China," I said to him, mate, do you understand that when it comes to transfers, the players got to want to go as well?
Yeah.
That's what people forget. It's not just like. Back, I think in the olden days, you could say, mate, you go to China. Nowadays, you can't do that.
That's what Arsene Wenger did to Adebayor.
Yeah, you can't do that no more.
Because Adebayor didn't want to leave Arsenal. And Wenger turned around and said to him, we've accepted an offer from Man City, you're going. He was like, I don't want to go. And he was like, well, that's fine. You'll play the reserves all season. You won't get in the first team.
Well, you can do that with Mesut Ozil. You can make him play in the reserves. But suppose he says, all right, I'll play in the reserves.
All right, cool.
And actually, when you lot, if you start losing a few games, everyone's going to start cussing you off for not playing me.
Yeah.
So they can't do that.
He's in a win-win situation. And
he's in a win-win. And
the fact that his agent come out this week as well and turned around and said, Ozil's just signed a new contract. He's happy. Don't want to leave. End of story.
Yeah.
So
why would he want to leave?
Their heels in.
Why would Mesut Ozil want to leave? He's on 350,000 or 300 grand per week, right? This is the mess up of this. We've been in a mess. As I said, the only thing we've got going for us now is the new recruitment team.
Yeah.
But
it's going to take years to
basically,
change
we're looking on Stan Kroenke, as I said, going back to that interview that you do with him to find out how he's going to win the league. It's like, I'm looking for miracles from my recruitment team and I'm looking for miracles from my manager.
There we go.
That's the only way we're going to win the league. And it's depressing to me because we're a huge football club.
I know, but we're acting like...
And this owner, I mean, I don't know what people think who are listening to or watching this on YouTube, what you think. I really want you to let us know your comments.
Yeah.
Can you see Arsenal winning the league in the next 10 years?
No.
No.
No. Not unless there's a drastic change.
That's depressing.
I genuinely don't think I'm going to be a bit, what's the word? I'm going to be a bit
Downbeat?
Yeah,
pessimistic?
not just downbeat, just kind of a bit. I don't think I'm ever going to see Arsenal win the Champions League. I'll be dead by the time they do it. Genuinely. I think that boat sailed. I think we had that chance in 2006. I genuinely don't think in my lifetime, my kids might be lucky enough to see it. I don't.
That's depressing.
Do you know what I mean? And
That's
it's not
depressing.
like I'm 80, 90 years old and I'm on my last legs.
That's
I genuinely just don't think I will.
And the league, you don't...
And the league, unless there's drastic changes, drastic, and I mean someone comes in and says, boom,
Who's
you need a defender, bang, there's the money. You need a right back, bang, there's the money. You need a striker, bang, there's the money. Because you know what my other concern is as well? And I said this to you in other podcasts, we've got so many players in their primes. And by the time we start competing, their primes are finished and we've then got to replace them. Very soon we've got to replace Aubameyang. Very soon we've got to replace a Mesut Ozil. Very soon we've got to replace a Lacazette. Players that are now wasting their primes. You know, how can we have Lacazette and Aubameyang as our two strikers, two of the best in the Premier League, and we're fighting for fourth because our defence is down there with Huddersfield, Fulham.
I was chatting to somebody yesterday, yeah? And they said to me, they go to Palace a lot. And he said to me, right, he goes, Robbie, I would not... Palace's defence, he watches a lot of Arsenal as well. He said, Palace's defence is better than Arsenal.
Palace.
I said, nah.
Robbie.
But then when he started breaking it down, Wan-Bissaka,
that young lad at right back,
Sacco,
man, I like him.
Yes, Wan-Bissaka,
Yeah,
Sacco,
like
and that Van Arnold. I was like, you know what?
Well, this is the thing, Robbie. Crystal Palace...
and they've got a good defence. They don't concede
Crystal
many...
Palace have conceded less than us. Here's an even funnier statistic that'll make you shocked. Newcastle have conceded less goals than us.
We're so easy.
Newcastle.
We're so easy to score against. I mean, listen, there are some of those teams that are very negative. I saw Palace last week against Chelsea. They were so negative. But, you know, so our style of play, but with our style of play, look at how good Liverpool's defence is. They don't concede much goals. And
they're the problems. We've got massive problems.
And sometimes you've got to go and buy quality. And if Stan Kroenke wants evidence of that, he only needs to look at the Arsenal team. Look at what Aubameyang's done.
Yeah.
He's come in and he's a top scorer in the league.
Yeah, and he's completely
in an average
lifted
team.
the place. Completely lifted the
Lacazette
place.
scores goals. You know what I mean? You bought all these years we've been like, we need a proper... You know, we've been moaning about players, guys like Giroud and that. We say they're all right, but we need to go and buy that top. When you buy a guy like Aubameyang, you get what you pay for. He's top quality, man. Yeah. You see it. He can be in a game. He's hardly in the game, and boom, boom, goal, two goals.
The problem was when we had a defence that was okay and at least decent enough when Koscielny was in his prime and stuff like that, and things weren't that bad. Yeah, we weren't the greatest, but it weren't that bad. We had no one up front. And then when we get someone up front, we got no one at the back. It's like a cycle.
Yeah.
It's a constant cycle. And you watch, we'll go and eventually sort our defence out and we'll have one of the best defences in the Premier League, but we won't have no bloody strikers.
Remember a guy said to me at the game the other day, right? He said, Robbie, he goes, this defence, because probably like just one or two players will fix it. He goes, do you remember when we just went and bought Sol Campbell? He goes, as far as I'm concerned, that's the best centre-back we've had. He goes, I even rate him better than Adams. He goes, he was quick, he was strong, he won everything in the air, he was a leader. He goes, we just went and got him. That's what we need to do now. We need a Sol Campbell type leader at the back. That is exactly what Liverpool done with Van Dijk.
Well, at the end of the season, why don't the club turn around and say, whether you get him or not, right? Why don't the club turn around and activate Alderweireld's release clause at the end of the season, 25 million.
Yeah.
Go and activate it. The worst he can say is no.
It's no.
But go and show some ambition.
Activate that. Could go and try and activate that right now.
I don't think it's active. It's active until the summer.
Okay, but we're not aggressive in the
but
transfer
go in
market.
there and say, right, there's 25 million, bang. Now, Spurs over the last couple of years, they've been better than us. They finished higher than us. Are they a bigger club than us? No, don't get me started. The fact is, if we went in there full steam ahead like a proper big club and said, you know what, Alderweireld, come, let's do it. In a way that we did with Torreira, because the way we did that, there was competition for Torreira. He had a release clause of 25 million. We went in and went 30. Forget your 25 million release clause. We'll give you an extra 5 million on top so that we blow the teams that were looking at him out of the water. That I liked. That was acting like a big club.
With the 20-odd million.
But what I'm saying is he had a release clause of 25 million pound. Arsenal did not have to pay a penny more. We could have paid more wages to him than the club that was in for him at the time. It was another Italian side. I can't remember who it was. So we could guarantee that we could pay more wages and everything else, be more lucrative, the Premier League, all this kind of stuff. But what we did was turn around and say, let's now get Sampdoria on our side as well, so that they push the player our way as well. Here's an extra 5 on top. That 5 ain't good. 25 million for him is an absolute steal. So if you're telling me now, is 25 million a steal for Alderweireld? Of course it's a steal. Yeah, so go in there, bully him.
There's guys, there's Alderweireld, there's Maguire, there's players out there that they can identify that say, yo, you know what? We know that if he comes into our defence, it's going to improve it by 10, 20%.
Yeah, massively.
What we need right now in that defence is a leader.
Yeah. We need someone that's going to come in, and we need a captain, a permanent one.
Yeah.
Not one that changes every single week.
A leader.
1 week it's Ozil, then it's Xhaka, then it's Ramsey, then it's... I'm sorry, that's not right.
Top defensive leader. I still think, there's several positions. I'm not going to get into order, but there's several positions that need fixing. But do we have faith in this owner?
No.
That he'll do that?
No.
With the self-sustainable model, which no club in recent times with that model has won the league. Tottenham have got that model. They've not won the league. They've been knocking on... And Tottenham, once they move into that new stadium and with all that comes with that and all the expenses, and they're going to be in big problems as well.
This is the other thing. That's what I'm saying.
They're not going to be able to hold on to these players.
That's what I'm saying about Alderweireld.
Yeah, you see him right now, Christian Eriksen is looking to leave. He'll be gone in the summer.
If we turned round, I know it's got 25, but if we turned round to Spurs with Alderweireld and said, here's 30, could Daniel Levy realistically turn that 30 down? Given the problem that they've had over the last year, the amount in debt with the new stadium, you're going to lose the guy in a year's time for nothing. You've got yourself a...
It sounds like us.
No, but Alderweireld, if Alderweireld had 4 years on his contract, 4 years on his contract, he would be minimum 75, 80 million pounds. He'd be Virgil van Dijk money. Simple as that.
He's getting older now, don't he?
I know he's still a quality, serious centre-back. And so, when you're talking top money, 75, 80, that's a lot to pay for someone his age. Just 28, 29, I think, maybe something like that. But is that a lot of money to pay? Is that age, 25, 30 million pounds? Is that a lot of money to pay for someone that age? For what he could do for 3-4 years? No. Of course it ain't. So go in there and show how big your club you are. Go in there. Turn around and say, here you go. And how funny would it be? Soul Part 2. Soul Part 2.
I don't think that's coming back those days, mate. But anyway, it's been a bit of a depressing show. Just before I go, right, let me just name out a couple of the players that we've been linked with, just to say if you in the January transfer window. Just quick answers off you, whether you'd have them or not. Gary Cahill.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Not at all?
Too slow for the system we play.
Eva Banega, Sevilla, midfield.
Is he better than Aaron Ramsey?
Ramsey's going, isn't it?
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That would be his replacement. But
so
is he better?
Would you have him?
I trust Emery's judgment because he knows him.
Denis Suarez, Barcelona.
Doesn't fill me with... Doesn't get you excited, does it?
Nicolas Pepe, Lille.
He's exciting, but he's had half a good season. and for the kind of money they're commanding, it's a risk. It's like Malcolm.
I was just about to say, Malcolm, Barcelona.
Hasn't really worked out for him at Barca, has it? Hasn't had a chance. Heard that China are in for him. Someone in China.
Christensen, the defender at Chelsea, he's not getting a game.
Again, I haven't seen a lot of him. Why is he not getting in the Chelsea side? Is that good? We shouldn't be shopping at other clubs' basements.
Dunk at Brighton.
He's a decent centre-back because he was missing in our game, weren't he? And I said that he would be a big loss for them because he was suspended. Does he fit our style? But then maybe we need someone that... That's a shout. That's a shout. He's broke into the England side as well, isn't he? In the squad anyway.
Chilwell.
Love him.
At Leicester.
I'd love him. I've mentioned his name before. I think he's just what we need at left back.
Maguire, Leicester.
I'd have him. Slabhead. Absolute beast.
Eric Bailly, Man United.
Love him. Yeah, I would have him.
Pereira, Man United. The kid.
I ain't seen much of him.
Never gets a game.
Yeah, but ain't seen much of him.
Jamal Lascelles, Newcastle, centre back.
Do you know a centre back I do like? Sol Bamba.
Sol Bamba?
Cardiff. He's been one of their standout players. He's been one of their standout. He's been one of their standout.
You just
players.
said about Poundland.
No, I'm just saying he's one that I've looked at.
He's at that level, man. He's not an Arsenal player.
No, but you never know.
Sol Bamba.
I think he's played well for Cardiff. He's been one of their standout players. Arsenal. I'm just saying, I think he's played well. I think he's played well this season.
Sol Bamba.
I just think he's played well this season. You're reeling off Newcastle players.
Jamal Lascelles is a young player, up and coming.
Yeah, but
player.
what I'm saying is,
I like him as a leader.
I think Sol Bamba's been one of Cardiff's best players. They're standout players. He's done really well.
So you'd be happy if we bought?
No, I'm just saying. I think that.
No, but you just said him out.
No, I just said I looked at it. Let's just say we bought him, but had a big name as well. So he was like kind of the backup.
Okay. All right. So listen, we've come to the end of the podcast today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Really like to get your views on Stan Kroenke and the whole spending thing. Let us know who would you have Sol Bamba?
And let us know what you think about Robbie misbehaving this week.
I ain't been misbehaving, man.
Robbie's not having it. Bad mind.
Nah, yeah, with that. Oh, come on, man.
You better cut that segment, you know. I'm putting that up. I want to see it because I'm going to cut it myself and use it. I'm not letting you get away with that one.
Listen,
you use plenty of my segments, to cuss me off, So
am I wrong? Am I wrong in that segment?
No, you're not. You're not.
The guy's always chatting about.
Yeah, I know.
So
I'm just saying, cut that segment. I want to see it. I'm going to sit there.
I don't normally.
Popcorn.
People have been saying to me from time, Robbie, yeah, you let this guy get away with it.
No. You're fully. You are right.
I mean, that thing. What he done the other day, that was out of order because he took the whole thing out of context.
Yeah. It was.
And tried to belittle it. Oh, we done the EE Cup. And now they're doing Blood Brothers, right? You know what I mean? Well, at least we created it ourselves.
Yeah.
And we're not riding off
the other thing is as well,
coattails
right?
of, the
other thing is as well, right? The EE Cup and what Spencer's done, full credit to him. Absolutely superb. But that is the PC version. That is the politically correct version. That is the...
No, yours is not political.
That is the... You can let your children watch this version.
It's brilliant.
Blood Brothers is the... This needs to be after Watershed. Don't let your children watch it. It's a harsh dose of reality.
The EE Cup and all that is Spencer, and then Spencer's done brilliant with that. And
it's not him,
right? But it's not. Yeah.
The reason why he gets the commentating,
he's trying to belittle.
Yeah,
I'm not on about Geordie. I'm on about
no. I know that.
He's trying to belittle.
I've got all the time in the world for Brian.
All right.
I've got all the time in the world for Brian.
What we've done is not as big as the EE Cup. Nowhere near as big as the EE Cup.
But we just started.
We've just started it, and you know what? We've created something, yeah? We've not just riding off the back.
You know what it is? Because Lawrence knows that he'll be a commentator for the EE Cup because when they employ Geordie, they have to employ him.
What about me?
On that note...
Happy New Year, mate.
And you, man.